All right, we're expecting a bunch more, but they'll have to catch up. Obviously, respecting of everybody's time. Thank you so much for joining us today. For those who don't know me, my name is Robert Wolfson. I'm the chair of the Learning and Development Committee. You see me spam your inboxes on a regular basis, so appreciate that. Hope you read most of them. I'm also the district governor nominee designate, which is also super fun. And as I was told, the longest title in Rotary, so I'm excited and honored to be your district governor in 2028, 29. But my capacity here today is as chair of learning and development. And in that role, today, I'm working with our district governor-elect, Darcy McEtition, who's going to introduce himself for those who don't know Darcy, to help him roll out your president-elect and your secretary-elect learning sessions. So it's going to be three sessions, as you've seen in the agenda. We're going to do the one today, building on our next one, which is going to be April 7th, also via Zoom. And then, as we were just discussing, in person on May 1st, ahead of our district conference in Red Deer. It is designed to be two Zoom sessions and one in-person session. The information will build on each session, so it is important to do your best to attend all three sessions. And for those and it will be recorded and posted on our district YouTube channel. So for those who don't know, you just have to go into YouTube, just type in Rotary District 5360 and all of the content that we produce, and lots of committees are posted there. So you can view it afterwards if you miss something, or if there's someone in your club that wants to watch it, feel free to pass along the information. This is my fourth year doing PELS and SELS. And honestly, it's always interesting and I always get something out of it. And our goal really is just to hope you get something out of it as well. I'm sure lots of people have been in Rotary for a long time, some new, some long time, and there's always new things to learn. So yeah, some of it may be repetitive, but new things to learn. So today we're setting the stage for creating lasting impact. It's going to be approximately 2 hours, but please, we'll try to get done around 9. But if we're a few minutes afterwards, please don't run off. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning to go to Mexico tomorrow, so I also want to get done early. But obviously, my goal is to make sure that we get all the information passed along today. So and obviously use the chat if there's any questions. I'll make sure I monitor that and make sure that all your questions get answered as we go along. Just use the chat feature there. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce, as I mentioned, Darcy to introduce himself. So Darcy, our district governor-elect, take it away.
Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Yeah, it's hard to get excited on Zoom, isn't it? There we go. Rayla's got it going. And where's Ingrid? I saw oh, she's got her camera turned off. I saw Ingrid had there's a president in training with you.
Oh, nice.
All right. So welcome everybody. How many of you are first-time presidents? Okay, that all right. There's a good mix of first-time presidents, and then there's presidents who enjoyed it so much the first time they want to do it a second or third time, right? That's how that worked for guys like Brad, who didn't put up his hand the first time. So, welcome. I'm going to share a couple of remarks later on in the evening. We're going to give Fareed the floor here in a few minutes, but I just wanted to say a few words up front. First of all, thank you for taking on the role of president in your club. It is an important role to play. It's a big role to play, and you know what? It's a fun role to play. And we're going to spend today, we're going to spend some time in April, we're going to spend some time in May talking about that. And what we want to do this year is we want to make sure that you have a fun time being the president of your club. And we're going to talk about the lasting legacy that you're going to leave behind when you're done on June 30th of 2027. So I think I'm going to stop there. We're going to get Fareed on the floor here. I don't know, Rob, did you want to go around and just have everybody quickly introduce themselves? Or you want to maybe save that for a break later?
No, let's do that quickly. I agree, Darcy. Let's do a quick icebreaker. I'm going to go by my Hollywood square, so just everyone can maybe just unmute quickly, and then once you say your name, you can unmute yourself, and just make sure there's no background noise. So I'll just that way it's easier. So Darren.
Darren Wennis, Rotary Club of Lethbridge Sunrise, 13 years with this club. Today is actually our 25th anniversary of our charter, 25 years ago today.
So congratulations.
I'm Rob Wolfson. My home club is Calgary Chinook. I've been president twice. So I've been where you guys where you are before. and then currently chair of learning development and district governor nominee designate, 12 years in Rotary. Darcy.
Darcy McAtish, I'm with the Rotary Club of Red Deer. I've been with this club for 15 or 16 years. I am the district governor-elect and have had 3 kicks at the can because I just couldn't get it right the first 2 times being president. But excited to be district governor next year and looking forward to working with all of you next year.
Leslie and then Margaret.
Hi, Leslie Baird, Cumberland Rotary, 15 years, and my 3rd time as president.
Margaret.
Margaret Black, first time as president. I've been 3 years with Oak Bay Rotary in British Columbia. And I was with Newmarket, Ontario, when I lived in Ontario between 1989 and 92.
Wow.
I left because it ran for local politics.
Pauline and Brad.
I'm not a president-elect. I'm a secretary-elect. I've been a Rotarian for 4 years, and I'm actually going into my 3rd year as secretary.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Where are you from, Pauline?
Rotary Club of Red Deer East.
Okay, wonderful.
And Brad Snodgrass here from Stettler. I was the president during COVID, so I wanted another crack at it because that was horrible. So yes, I am going to be the president this year, and it looks like I might do a 2-term deal because we couldn't find a president-elect for the next round. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Great. Ryla and then Vi.
Ryla Duda. I'm from Rotary Club of Lethbridge Mosaic. I am a newbie Rotarian, not even a year. So jumped right in, threw on my president-elect hat, and I'm also membership chair, and I do the gaming for our club too. So a few roles, but yeah, excited.
Both feet in the deep end. I love it. Vi.
I'm from the Rotary Club of Canmore. I'm currently vice president, so I won't be president for 2 years. But I'm also the public image chair, and I've been with Rotary for 4 years.
Amazing. Joyce and Carrie Ann.
Yeah, Joyce Wick from the Pincher Creek Club. This is I don't know how many years I've been club president.
Long time. Carrie Ann.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Colby. I'm with the Rotary Club of Okotoks. This will be my first time. I've only been a member for 3 years. Been very involved in the youth exchange program, youth exchange officer, and the public image chair for our club. And I'm having trouble with the speaker on my laptop, so I'm on my phone right now, and I don't know the functionality of Zoom on my phone, so bear with me.
That's okay. I can mute you for you, but you know it's hard. I was on my phone this morning too. It's always harder. Peter and then Doug.
Peter Harding. I'm going to be the secretary of the Rotary Club of Calgary Heritage Park. I've been 26 years with that club. I was president back in 2005.
Hello, everybody. My name is Doug Webb. I'm with Calgary Downtown. I've been with Rotary for about 8 years now. It's my first crack at being president.
Great. We'll go Doug Fleming and then Robert McLeod.
I'm Doug Fleming. I'm with the Rotary Club of Medicine Hat. I guess I've been in Rotary for about 36 years. This is my 2nd term as president. After my 1st term, I served as secretary up until now, and I guess they didn't like the job I was doing, so I got promoted.
Nice. Robert McLeod and then Adam.
Hi, it's I've from Cochrane, Alberta. I've been in Rotary for about 15 or more years. I started off briefly in Medicine Hat. There's all reasons for leaving that within a year, but 10 years in Saskatoon, doing secretary, community service, and president, and now in Cochrane doing membership, community service, president twice, and moving into secretary.
Nice. Adam and then Annette.
My name's Adam. I'm from Duncan Daybreak Rotary in Vancouver Island in BC. I've been with Rotary for 4 years, and this is my first time at president, and I look forward to it. I've done lots of stuff with the club in my 4 years, doing public image. I've been doing a bunch of fundraisers with the club. So I'm right into it and I look forward to it.
I'm Annette Eby. I'm with the Rotary Club of Red Deer, and this is my first year, will be my first year as president, and I've been with the club 2.5 years.
Sangeeta and then Charla.
My name is Sangeeta Sharma, and I'm with Rotary Calgary East. And I've been with Rotary on and off for 4 years. Last year I joined and I got this opportunity, so I'm looking forward. This is my first time.
And I'm Charlotte from Medicine Hat Sunrise Rotary, and I have apparently been a Rotarian for 20 years, and I have been president years back, and I'm currently serving as secretary, so switching hats this upcoming year.
Leanne and Ingrid.
Hi, I'm Leanne Linus with the High River Rotary Club. This is my 3rd year. I will be president-elect in July, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've learned tons and just got back from a stint with Project Amigos, which was lots of fun.
Ingrid and Peter.
Hi there, I'm Ingrid Limas. I have some helpers here with me tonight. 6, 7, yeah. I've been in Rotary for 14 years and looking forward to actually being president instead of always vice president.
Perfect. Is it 6 or is it 7? I'm not quite sure. One or the other. Peter and then Joanna. Go ahead, Peter.
Okay. Sorry, are you talking Peter Harding? Because I already introduced myself.
No, sorry, Peter Azenobi.
Azenobi, okay. I was just wondering because I know. Okay. My name is Peter Azenobi. I have been in Rotary for 7 years. And my current club, Rotary Club of Calgary Connect, I've been there for 3 years. Out of that 3 years, 2 years, I'll be serving as a treasurer, and this year I'm the president-elect. That's why I'm here.
Awesome. Joanna.
Hi, my name is Joanna Kappel. I'm from the Rotary Club of Lethbridge Downtown. I've been in Rotary for 18, 19 years. I've been the treasurer for the last 10 or 12 or so, and I'm president this coming up year.
James and then Joseph.
Hi, I'm Jim Bell. I'm a new Rotary member and with Calgary North and incoming secretary.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Joe Clausen. I'm with the Rotary Club of Calgary Heritage Park. I'm incoming president. I've been with the club for 20 years.
And then Eve.
Sorry, did you say me, Eve?
Yeah, Eve, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm with Joe. I'll be following on Joe. I'm the president-elect coming up in July. And like Ingrid, I've been in Rotary for 14 years and looking forward to this new challenge.
Amazing. Last but certainly not least, Manon.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Manon Mitchell, currently the district governor for District 5360. I'm also Rotarian of the Rotary Club of Calgary. I'm currently on an international ski fellowship trip in British Columbia. And I really look forward to chatting with you guys about our Rotary Action Plan a little later this evening. Welcome to your leadership trip. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks, Manon. Hey, Darcy, over to you.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker of the evening, Fareed Bedwani, from the Rotary Club of Calgary West. Did I get that right, Fareed?
Yep.
So how many, put up your hand if you know Fareed. All right, a few of you know Fareed. So Fareed and I got a chance to work together during the convention. We were both on the HOC together last year as we were pulling together the convention for Calgary. And one of the things that, so the thing that Fareed led for the HOC was volunteer recruitment. And I have to say, he did an outstanding job bringing together 1,000 or 1,200 volunteers to make the convention happen. And so when we were starting to build the program for PELS and SELS this year, and we were thinking about who should we talk to about building a strong team and recruiting, and one of the key roles a president plays in the club, Fareed is the guy that was at the top of the list. So we're going to spend some time this evening having Fareed share some thoughts with us around volunteer recruitment. And I'm going to guess many of you probably have managed people throughout your career or at some time along the journey. But you know what? Managing people that work for you and managing volunteers, there's a few nuanced differences between those two roles. And one of the things that's going to make your year successful as a president is having a strong team of people with you on your board leading your club. And so what we're going to do is throw it over to Fareed and have him share some words of wisdom with us about volunteer recruitment and how to do it. So Fareed, over to you.
All right, thank you. I'm just gonna share my screen. Just a second.
Can you do it, Bree, or do I need to make you? Oh, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Did it work?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna get that started. Okay, can everybody see the presentation?
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about creating your team and how to lead the team. This is something that I've done on the professional side quite a lot. And like Darcy just mentioned, it's quite different when you're also doing it on the volunteer side. And I've been lucky to have the experience in both. And most of what I will tell you today, you probably heard before, but as Darcy said, it's good to go over that stuff again. And we can have questions in the end, or you can interrupt me at any time for questions. I'm okay with both. So quickly, I'm going to go through the agenda. So I'm going to have a quick introduction. I'm going to talk about recruiting, how to build an effective team, and again, the leadership of volunteers, the reality of that versus, the leadership in a company or something like that. Different strategies for recruiting. One of my favorite is Bruce Tuckman. We're going to go over his theory about leadership, and then what are the common pitfalls to avoid. And again, in the end, there will be plenty of time for a question and answer. I'm usually fast, so slow me down or stop me if you need to. So just a quick introduction about myself. I've been in Rotary since '94. I have joined in Brooks, Alberta. I worked in the oil and gas most of my life, so that means I have changed locations, changed countries. So actually, I have been in 6 different Rotary clubs. I'm currently, for the last 4 years, with the Calgary West Club, and about 22 out of my 28 years in the oil and gas, I was in executive management. So I have led teams, I have done a lot of project management, and then I got my certification about 10 years ago, and I've been teaching mostly project management lately in my semi-retirement life. And as Darcy mentioned, I was the director of the volunteers, so many of you have volunteers, and my committee had some great superstars like Rob, who you just met, Peter Aizenobi, and many more. So the introduction about the course, I just wanted to mention the presidents do not run the club alone. Okay, so your team is really critical for running the club properly. The team of directors that you will have will shape the club culture. And, there are no poor members of Rotary, only poor leaders. Okay, so a lot of people say, oh, that club, they don't do much. Oh, the members are too lazy. It's usually that they haven't had the right leadership. And one of the things that Darcy and everybody wants you guys to have is some good guidelines to help you, get the best out of your team. And if you've been presidents before, like many of you, I'm sure, you have more to say about these things than I will tell you tonight. So again, recruiting the right team is critical. So moving on. The club president, they set the direction and tone. Not necessarily doing everything, but they help set that direction and tone. Your main job is also to enable your team to lead. Okay, there are different committees, different directors, and unless you let people lead, you won't be able to do your job properly. You also have to protect the Rotary culture. So the way Rotary things go, you have to make sure that the members that you are recruiting, they are respecting that the Rotary culture is something that they're okay with. And you also have to ensure continuity. One of the things I find as very poor leadership is somebody who comes in and says, "Oh, everybody before me was garbage. Now I am the gifted one, and I will show everything and I will change everything." That's not usually the way we do things in Rotary. I'm sure you'll discuss the long-term plan and the long-range plan with your club, with your district. So you need to really also ensure continuity. Okay, you can add a touch of what you want to be doing through the people you will recruit, but you really want to also make sure that the club continues any projects that they have, and don't disrupt everything just for the fun of disrupting. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to figure. I haven't been on Zoom for a month, and it looks like I've forgotten most of things. So, okay, so recruiting. You want to start looking for potential leaders early. So most of the clubs, they allow the potential leaders to start attending the meetings of the following year, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months before the year begins. So you really don't want to wait till the middle of May to start recruiting for your leaders, right? You want to start early. Some of the tips you want to watch out for is to observe the reliability and the attitude of the members you're trying to recruit for your board. Okay, are they dependable? Do they have a good attitude towards others, towards Rotary? Not just towards you, but towards everybody. Collaborative spirit. This is something you can also notice in your club, whether the members seems to be collaborating with others on projects or they like to work solo. Collaborative spirit is quite important to get things done as a team. I mentioned that briefly before, the respect for Rotary values. And also you want to watch for active members that, they bring guests, they ask questions, they seem to be excited about Rotary. Okay. Those are ones that usually are excited to serve. So again, you need to watch for that. That's usually a good tip that could be a good director. However, do not ignore quiet members, because there are some quiet members who consistently help and volunteer in every event. They could be a bit shy to stand out and ask questions and all of that, but they're always there, they're always serving. Again, that could be also a skill that you might need. And be realistic about the expectations. Don't paint a flower of roses all the time to attract people. Let them know the expectations, because the worst thing you want to have is somebody who joins and then later on gets shocked by how much time they have to dedicate or how much effort it's taking or how many hours, and they don't really have those hours. So be realistic about that. And also respect those who step forward. Like in the club, people say, well, who wants to serve as this? And then you might get 3-4 people, please interview them, please talk with them. See if they share those things. So people that have the initiative to step forward, they definitely always earn my respect. So is my pace good so far? Okay, excellent. Okay. So building an effective team, one of the things you need to do is to define the roles and responsibilities. Okay. So, clearly assigning what people are going to be doing on the team helps. But remember that you do these things with the member, with the director. The worst thing I want to have if somebody takes me on is to tell me, "Oh, Fareed, you're so welcome, and this is what you're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and no discussions." If I don't feel like I have a buy-in in what we're going to be doing as a team, it really doesn't get me that excited. Okay, so make sure that whoever you turn, you give that job and give them the turn to be the director, they're involved in defining their role and their responsibility. Okay. Foster open communication. Again, you want to be transparent. It helps build trust. It helps me make sure that the team. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Is somebody talking? Okay.
Yeah, it was just an echo. So
Oh,
I have muted
yeah.
it. It's okay.
Yeah, it sounded like my voice. It scared me for a
Yeah,
minute.
it
Okay.
echoed. I muted. Yeah.
Okay. So again, the open communication is quite nice, and this is something that we're very known for in Rotary, that we really communicate with each other quite well and embrace diverse skills. Okay. And I mean diverse meaning old people, new people, male, female, experience, energy, passion. Okay. I mean, going back to the example of the convention we had, probably my most dynamic person on fire was Hank Popoff, who was 81 when he started the role, and he was on fire the whole time. I mean, he was in charge of the airport, and he dealt with the airport, went there all the time, did help the marketing team. I mean, the guy was on fire. So please diversify the skills and don't be prejudiced against age or against any of these things. Okay. I'll show you a quick example of defining roles and responsibilities that I did during the convention. And I can be a bit anal about that. So I wanted to be clear with everybody what we're doing. So sitting down with people, we discussed these objectives, and this was for like the recruiting. And basically we said, well, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, that's what we want to be doing. And then by the convention time, that was the deadline. So it just helps to let people know what is expected of them. This can be like 2, 3 items, and this can be like 50. I mean, I'm usually a bit more detailed on what we were doing, especially when something like the convention was happening. I just wanted to make sure that things were good. So again, this is a bit of maybe an overkill, but I just show you that you got to let people know what they're supposed to be doing, not just over coffee, but sometimes a written document helps, in my opinion. So this is the point that Darcy mentioned earlier about the volunteer reality. So we know the members serve by choice. Okay. They're not your employees. You don't order them around. Okay. You have to excite them. You have to motivate them. And basically then they will serve you. I've never seen anybody that I didn't respect and involve in all the decisions that didn't want to be doing whatever we wanted to do. So it really helps. Also remember that the volunteer time is limited. They're not working, 40-hour week or 9 to 5 every day, or 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Most of our members are very busy in society, and they're very successful people, and their time is limited. So you got to respect that. And the motivation varies. There are some people that are motivated by titles. There are some people motivated by results. Some people motivated by a great team. Some people motivated by money. That's not usually the ones we have in Rotary. And some people motivated by fantastic results. So when you're addressing somebody, try to understand what motivates that person. Okay. It's quite important to know the different motivation that people have. We all want to do good things, but some of us gets excited over certain things different than others. Okay. And then the last one in this reality is listen, listen, listen. A big problem I have with many members of our club, that sometimes people talk, 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 talk. Listening really is the biggest gift. Okay. So please listen to your team. I cannot encourage that more. It's a very good habit to have. Some strategies for recruiting. One of the things that work the best is one-on-one conversation. I mean, as I told you, I've been in 6 clubs. I've been in one where people stood up and says, who wants to do this? And then some person stood up and says, me. Okay, you're on. You don't have even a conversation with that person. Okay, so please have the conversation. It's better to know how things are going forward rather than discover them afterwards. Okay, and did I do all of these things right the first time? No, not at all. I'm telling you from sort of like the mistakes that I have made, and this is what I have learned. Okay. Start with strategy, not the vacancy. Okay, so you have 2 or 3 vacancies there, but what is really the strategy of what you want to do, in this committee? Okay, what do you want the director to be doing? So think of the strategy before you just want to fill up the vacancy. Okay, the last thing you want to do is to have people fill up vacancies. Oh, my board is complete, but then everybody has their own strategy, and things are not going to really work well that way. So. And then you also have to explain why you chose them. Okay, actually, that will make them feel good. Okay, like you have been chosen because of so and so and so, and we're excited to have you on board because of so and so and so. And describe the impact of the role, like what that role is going to mean. Let that person, he or she, understand what impact they will be having, because that usually excites people. When you have an impact, it's very nice than you just attending the board meeting every few weeks, So please make sure you describe that. And of course, offer support and mentoring. Okay, now some of us can be young, some of us are actually learning from the directors we hire. Okay, so support will depend on your experience in this particular field. Many of the directors we worked with, they can teach me for the rest of my life. Okay, so also be respectful of that. And people usually tell you, make sure they're buying what you're selling. I tell you, make sure you are buying what they are selling. Okay, because the director's input to the strategy is critical. It really is. And I believe you should discuss the mission before confirming their position. Okay, so please listen. You've talked, you've discussed the strategy. Now this director, what are you going to be doing? Okay, what do you think you're going to be doing? What are you going to be pursuing? So building an effective board, the right people in the right roles. Try to also be like matching interests with strengths. So if my strength is talking to governmental offices, so maybe I should be director of this committee. If my strength is to project manage, maybe you should give me something that involves maybe 3-4 clubs and I'm managing that project with them. So just try to match that. Clear responsibilities, complementary skills. Okay, like this person can also do accounting. Somebody can do IT. That's something complementary. It's not really a committee that we have, but we know that this person is good. For example, when I was in the board in the downtown club, our past district governor, Kurt, he knew every single bylaw that Rotary had. What a great talent that was, and what a great complementary skills. Because sometimes we will say this and this and this, and then Kurt will says, "No, guys, you cannot do that. That's illegal, or that's not possible, or you need permission to do this or to do that." So people that have extra skills, it's great. So they serve their committee, but they also can help with complementary skills with everybody else. And again, mix of experience and energy. Okay, again, I give you the example of Hank. Energy doesn't mean just young age. Okay. My mother actually is in the hospital nowadays, and I see so many young nurses that are just sitting there on their phones all the time. And some are like dynamic and moving, and it really has nothing to do with age or any of that stuff. So, people are different. And then the last point I want to say on this slide is have their backs. It is really critical that you stand by your team. Now, if your director has went and committed murder, okay, I'm not saying have his back or her back for a murder, okay? But please, I mean, they'd like to feel that you have their backs, you defend them, you support them. This is very important feeling for me to work for anybody. I'd like to know that this person, have my back. I can rely on that person. So be that president that have the back of your team. Okay. Okay, so Bruce Tuckman. This guy was an American educational psychologist, passed away 10 years ago. But one of the theories that I teach in project management, and I really believe is so critical, is his development theory. So what he says is that there are 5 stages of group development. So when you're forming your team, number 1, that is the forming. Everybody gets together. The second one is storming. And this is the team. They come from different backgrounds. Some people have already been on board for the year before, and they're serving their second year, and they have their own ideas. And you have a lot of new members. Some people haven't worked with each other ever before. So we go through a stage called storming. Do you think that is a good stage or a bad stage? Can you give me your finger up if you think this is a good stage, finger down if you think it's a bad? Okay. Oh, Peter, you're going halfway. I cannot tell halfway. You gotta be this or this. So, no, actually, this is the best stage in those 5. Okay. If you don't do the storming, then I'm sitting there with all these bent up feelings about this and I'm not getting them out. No, storming means I'm getting it all out. It's all out in the open. This is my vision of what the club should be doing. This is my vision. And we all sit there and storm. And now, after we storm, this is when we start to go into norming. Now we become a normal team. Now we know each other's what we are thinking, what we are doing. And then number 4 kicks in. Then we are performing. Okay. Now, what happens after performing? And then 2 members have to travel because they got a contract in Toronto and they have to leave us. You have 2 new members coming in. You are actually back to storming. Okay. So storming is not a bad thing to let people discuss with each other what their thoughts are. Okay. And of course, the last one is adjourning. I mean, you've done the job at the end of the term, you're done. But really, those are the 4, important things that you go through when you're developing your team. So again, if people are not getting along together in the first week, do not panic. I usually find that is a blessing. Okay, let's get it out. Let's talk about all the theories and let's reach that norming stage so then we can start performing. We don't want to keep quiet about everything and then discover halfway through the term that we don't really get along with each other on any of the items. Okay, you don't really want that. So, sorry. Okay, so some pitfalls to avoid. I think this is my second to last slide. So waiting too long, again, don't wait till May to start recruiting and interviewing your people. Asking the same people repeatedly. Okay, so you've come to me and you said, Farid, I'd like you to take care of this. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. And then you come next month and you say, hey, Farid, have you changed your mind? I'd like you to do this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. So don't really annoy people about this. Okay, so that's not a good strategy. And if the person agrees in the end, that's not going to be, likely to be the best candidate you can have. Avoid being unclear about expectations. Okay. And avoid not supporting new directors. Okay, so you might have already half the team from the time before, and then you have some new directors coming in. You need to encourage them, support. Okay. And I think that's all I had. So now we got the team. It's time to lead the team, and I'm very proud of that cartoon. And I'll open it up for questions if anybody has any.
Maybe you can stop your screen share for a sec, Farid, so I can see everybody.
Absolutely. 1 second. Let me remember how to do that. End show first. Okay, and then stop the share. There we go.
All right, thank you. I'm thinking. All right, does anyone have any questions for Farid?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, Peter.
Thank you so much, Farid. Just a quick question. At some point in your presentation, you did mention that we should create strategies, not vacancy. Now, I think the next slide, you're talking about getting the input from the directors, right? So my question is, do you consult them first and get their input before you create the strategy?
Yes, remember that many of the directors are already there. You're already, as the president-elect, have been attending the meetings of the committee. You know where the committee has been going, where the club is going. You know the long-term range plan. So you have an idea about the strategy. Okay. And also, like, you have to have your own personality in the role, right? So you want to put some of that, and then you discuss the details, and and again, if you talk to somebody and they completely change your mind because they have a brilliant idea, don't turn it off. I'm not saying that at all,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
What do you recommend or what do you suggest as an approach for, like, we have a small club in Lacombe and there's people who have said, I will never volunteer or like executive.
Yeah.
And the ones who have volunteered are recent, they just did it. So how do I find someone to step in as president-elect?
So my understanding is you have like a small number of members, and there are some that are already serving, but the rest are not really that excited. Are they maybe not excited because the strategy is not something that they are on board with, or they have no time? I mean, if they have no time, that's difficult to resist. But if they're not excited about the strategy, maybe this is something you need to change, or maybe have a session to listen to their points of view about what things are going in their minds, and then maybe if you sort of discuss the strategy with them, they might be on board if the topics change. Like right now, I was discussing something about the Ukraine, and I mentioned it to one person, and then I found like 4 clubs want to jump on it as well. And I was just talking, in an event a couple of weeks ago. That's all. I didn't really make a strategy, but sometimes things will trigger things with people, and that would be my advice. Just try to convince, because you don't have much choice. It's not like you have 100 people and okay, those guys don't want, I'll work on the others. You'll have to work with what you have. So try to get them excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I piggyback on Ingrid's comment?
Sure.
Because I also come from a small club. We have 23 active members, and the majority of the club are very long service, and they have done the roles many times. They're worn out and they want to coast. So our talent pool is huge, but the people who want to participate is small. We have a very small group of people we can keep tapping over and over again, because the rest are worn out. It's not a strategy thing. It's I've done my time and I just want to relax now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my advice to you is actually increase membership. Get some. I mean, I've seen today a couple of presidents that sounds like they've not even finished 1 year, and they're jumping into the presidency role. So if you get the right members, and again, young or old, but just get new members that might have the excitement of Rotary, I think that would be, not your only choice, but one of the best choices you can have if possible. Any others?
Oh, this is Charlotte from Medicine Hat Sunrise. And we are also a very small club, and we opted to do a couple things differently to try and decrease the workload and increase kind of the general support of the club. And one was to get rid of the directors and make it more of just one. We make decisions as a group. And so there's no extra meetings in terms of directors that way. And then the other thing that we have done, excuse me, is done co-presidencies so that it's a little bit more support for the person in the presidency role. And that has been, I think, a little bit more palatable for some people who were questioning whether they wanted to take on the full responsibility of being the president.
I personally think that's brilliant. I think we really need to think outside the box. Our membership has suffered for so long, and I appreciate the ideas that get you out of that boxing, that we box ourselves into. That's great. By all means, I mean, reduce the amount of meetings, pick the activities that people can do comfortably, and make your members happy, and again, recruit, get new members. We need to add membership to our teams. So, and I'm sure Manon and Darcy will tell you a lot more about that.
Go ahead, Joe. I see your hands up.
Yeah, I thought I would just share something that we've started doing in our club that's really made it easier to be president, is that the president doesn't have to run every meeting. That we have one or two meetings per month, even though the president is there, where somebody else agrees to plan and run the meeting ahead of time. So the president doesn't have to be bothered on their way in the door by, oh, I need a minute at the front, I need this. And in the week coming up to it, they don't have to be taking emails and calls from people. Somebody else is running that meeting, and it allows them to do the president's business instead of the business of running the meeting itself, which anybody can do if they choose to. And it's really helped take the pressure off the president week to week to week.
Yeah, I've seen that done in one of the clubs I was with before. I've also seen it where they give every director a chance to run a meeting and maybe to talk about what their committee is doing. And again, it reduces the load and also makes the other members realize what this committee is doing. The director talking about what they are doing, whenever he's running or she's running the meeting. It's a great idea. I think that is brilliant. Anything else? All right.
Darcy,
Go ahead, Rob.
Darcy, do you want to mute?
Yeah, I was talking to my wife.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's it then. Do you have anything to add, Darcy, for each section before we move on?
Yeah, no, Fareed, I want to thank you for making the time to be here tonight and sharing some great words of wisdom. And thank everybody for the great questions. I think, we're going to talk a lot over the course of the next 3 workshops about the incredible training that Rotary has available for you and the systems that have been built over decades. But, I think one of the things that's becoming more and more apparent as as Rotary moves forward is we do need to think outside the box, like Fareed said, and we need to sometimes challenge the status quo and think about how can we run our club more effectively based on what our club is looking for, as opposed to what Rotary might be telling us. So there's going to be that natural tension between the systems that are in place and what's going to work in your club. And that's one of the great pleasures of being president is you get to make some of the decisions around how you're going to balance that in each of your organizations. So Fareed, thank you very much for making the time joining us this evening. It was great to see you again. And I hope you're coming to Red Deer for district conference.
Of course.
Well,
Of course.
fabulous. I will finally be able to buy you the beer I owe you.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Fareed. All right, so moving on is actually me. So let me just quickly share my screen. There. So I'm here to talk to you today. So Darcy and I are going to tag team just a little bit of the different resources that you have available to you as president-elect and secretary-election in your club. I'm hoping that most of you on this call are already aware of this resource, but in case not, then I'm excited to show it to you. This is really a hidden gem in our district. I've been on the Learning and Development Committee since 2019. So coming on 7 years now. And the first couple of years that I was on the Learning and Development Committee was just as what we call the Learning Center liaison. So really just trying to get out to clubs. This is really not a new tool that RI offers Rotarians, but 100% an underutilized tool. And so my goal was really just to get out to clubs, let them know where to go, how to find it. And then COVID hit. So it was really actually good timing, not good timing for COVID, obviously, and everything that happened with COVID, but for a way for Rotarians to really stay engaged and keep learning about Rotary because it's an online tool. So you can really use it from your own computer at your own time and convenience. And that's the beauty about the Rotary Learning Center. So as leaders, I'm hoping that you really, if you haven't already, dig into the training that's available to you for free at your own time and convenience on the Learning Center. I'm actually doing, if you haven't seen the invitation already, I'm doing a full, one of the other roles within the Learning and Development Committee is the regular learning webinars that we do for the district. Again, you can just log in. It's going to be on Zoom on Tuesday night of March the 24th at 7 o'clock. So really tell other members of your club if you think that they would find it valuable to learn how to use the Learning Center as well too. So really, I'm just going to take about 20 minutes. So really, my goal really is just to show you what the Learning Center is, where to find it, and then how to use it, who should be using it, and the various learning plan structures that are available for the president-elects, for the secretary-elects, and then just a couple of quick statistics. And really, just like similar to what Fried was talking about, never stop learning. Obviously, this is just another tool available for you. It doesn't matter how long you've been in Rotary, as we already heard around this small group of individuals, 30 people. There's various tenures within Rotary, from 1 year up to many years, and then people that have served as president many times. And there's always something new that you can be learning and enhancing and your skills, and that's really what this tool is all about. It really is an online wealth of knowledge and information, a one-stop shop for many learning and development tools. And again, as mentioned, it's online, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home in your PJs on a cold, snowy, rainy day when you have some time and you want to see if there's some information to help you. Maybe you're joining leadership within your clubs, but maybe you're just information to help your committees, your directors, your new members. There's really something of value for all members of Rotary, whether you're a rookie or a tenured member. It is truly one of Rotary International's best kept secrets. But like all things online, like where do you find it? I made a joke to Manon when we were doing a training session a couple of weeks ago. It's 6 easy clicks. But once you know the 6 clicks, then it's easy to find. So it's like, where's Waldo? Once you know where Waldo is in the picture, you can find him every time after that. But it's just finding Waldo the first time that's always difficult, right? So it is truly easy, and they actually have Rotary International has done a really good job of making it even easier than what it used to be when they first rolled it out. So to distinguish, this is not Club Runner. So think of this is on My Rotary. So think of your individual club websites. I can log into the website for pick a Rotary club. Any public person can go research a Rotary club, and there's always public facing information. And then as a member, you go into Club Runner, and that's where you find member specific information. This is very similar. Anyone in the world can go www.rotary.org and learn about Rotary, what RA is from a macro basis. But My Rotary is the Club Runner of the RI site. So think of it from that perspective. But it's not Club Runner in that you need a separate login that's different from your Club Runner login. So just all you need to do is go to rotary.org, and in the top right-hand corner here, it says sign in. So you click that, and then once you click that, you just have to log in with your email address and your password. And like all things, if you need help or forget a password, I know we all have a million passwords for everything. You can just click forget password and you can reset your password. I don't know about you, but I have 4 different email addresses. So just make sure that you use the email address that you've already used for your other Rotary business that you have, and use the same email that you have in Club Runner, because that's what's registered with Rotary for you, but it's not a Club Runner access, if that makes sense. So if you have a My Rotary account, simply click sign in. If not, you have to create one, and you see in the top right hand corner it says register, then you can create a login. Once you're in My Rotary, this is what the homepage looks like. You see there's My Rotary, there's participate, events, connections, knowledge and resources, who we are. So these are all just different drop-down menus once you're on the My Rotary site. And I click this, and then these are the different things that open up under the knowledge and resources tab. This is a learning and development tool, so intuitively it's found under knowledge and resources. And you can see right at the bottom here, just above the webinars, there's Learning Center. But even that's where it used to be, and it still is there, but they've actually added on the same homepage, on the bottom of your My Rotary homepage, there's these 6 boxes that are yellow and gray, and you can see the one in the middle is the Learning Center. This is actually convenient too, because I know we're going to talk a lot about goal setting in future sessions. Rotary Club Central is right there on the same page too, where you can log in and do your goal setting as well too. The brand center is there for if you want to get all your different public image and branding and resources there. There's membership foundation stuff, grant stuff. So this is a really great, My Rotary is a very useful page. And within My Rotary is the Learning Center. So once you click, whether you go through either of the 2 ways, it's going to take you to the same homepage, which is the Rotary Learning Center homepage. And you can see there's in the top left-hand corner, there's course catalogs. You can search in the top there. There's these 3 little buttons here, the little drop-down menu, which I'm going to show you in a second. But they do have the various courses and modules grouped into like topics. And there's lots of things that are duplicates and that don't just fall under one category. But there's courses about Rotary. There's club leadership, which is where I want you to focus on for this presentation. Obviously, district leadership. There's general information. Membership has its own bucket because it's so important for every club in our district and around the world. There's professional development. A lot of the courses for if you want to work on your public speaking, that type of stuff, with the Toastmasters synergy and relationship we have with them are found within professional development. There's public image and branding stuff, service, which is a lot of the youth courses, of course, foundation. So there's many great buckets that you just click that and then it opens up into the various courses. So once you get in here, I always recommend, and you don't have to, this is a very simple course. It literally takes about 10, 15 minutes, is getting started with the Learning Center. It's really a great module just to kind of really how to navigate and use the Learning Center. And then I always recommend Rotary Basics. It's a really great beginner course. It's a good 15-minute refresher. Again, good for all, especially for new members. But again, I took this course and I learned stuff, and I've been a Rotarian for 12 years. So it's many, there's lots of great tools. And that's actually a good thing too. I always tell, especially president-elects, maybe you have a speaker that bails on you last minute or doesn't show up. It's a good kind of thing just to have in the back of your mind. You can use this as a club and have your club go through it at the same time as like a in lieu of a public speaker. If something happens, roads are bad or they got sick or schedules got mixed up, it's a good thing just to have to go into the Learning Center and just do a course quickly in front and instead of just wondering what to do. There's there's also learning topics links, so you can go in and this is updated regularly from clubs around the world. So it kind of highlights the various courses that members around the world are doing more regularly, kind of what's hot. There's lots of conversations as well too, people posting, there's almost like a chat section. Again, this is updated, so what's current and what are people around the world learning about it. So this is kind of a really cool feature that they've added over the recent past as well. So when you open up back on this page, if you in the top left-hand corner, there was those 3 dots right under course catalog, right left of the Rotary symbol. If you open that up, it goes to your own dashboard, and it tells you again course catalogs. It tells you different top or sessions and modules that you've done recently. Being that it's an online resource, you can start a course. Maybe you're killing 15 minutes and then the phone rings or the hockey game starts or something, you get distracted by the kids and then you have to exit out. It's going to pick you up where you left off, so you don't need to start from the start again. There's courses that are 15 minutes up to maybe an hour. So there's various lengths of courses. So maybe you have half hour to plug away at a course. You're going to get through, a quarter of it or a third of it, and then you're going to exit out of it and return to it. So it's going to pick you up where you left off, and you're going to find it here on your dashboard. There's, you can favorite courses. So if you see something you just want to remember to take it at a future time, just like, picking that show on Netflix that you want to add to your list so you don't forget about it. You can favorite it. There's a Q&A section. There's on the right, there's just a, obviously it keeps track of how many courses you've started in progress, how many you've finished. They give you a little printout and a certificate when you're done as well too. They give you points if you're competitive. You can see how you rank against other Rotarians in your city, in your club, in your district. So it's really interesting that way. So lots of cool topics. And even in here, there's a search bar, so you can search in there and just type in a topic and it'll bring you to courses within the Learning Center. So the dashboard's a really great place as well for you. But really, who should use it? I've mentioned this a lot. Great for new members, great for the onboarding. There's lots of great courses for them, again, at their own time and convenience to really plug away and really educate them on various topics within Rotary. It's great for you and all of the various leaders, whether you're president-elect, secretary-elect, or just a new director coming onto your board. There's many great topics for new board members, new community members. Maybe you've been in Club Financial for 5 years and now you're going to go into membership. So it's as much as you're a Rotarian for a long period of time, membership is new from what you've been doing in Club Financial. So again, there's different courses for the various avenues of service. If you're going to become like Darcy and be the district governor-elect or myself, there's the district leadership courses in there as well. And there are many great modules to help enhance our learning. And as part of our responsibility when we sign up for those roles to do those courses, and they give you lots of time to plug away, just like we recommended for you as well. One of the initial emails I sent out to you is, and RI does it themselves, but it was just a reminder for me to plug away at those courses, and I'm always here to help if you need. But really, a broken record, something for all members during their Rotary tenure, and you're not going to use it all the time, and we don't expect people to use it all the time, but we just want you to know that it's here. And when you need some new ideas, or if you want to enhance learning on a specific topic, or you need to, or maybe you do a course and hey, you've actually checked off all those boxes. So it's just more affirmation and reassurance that you're on the right path. So it's really something for all points. It's just a resource for you to use when you need it. But obviously, when you do have new incoming leaders, obviously it's going to get more widely used at that point in time. Again, great for new members. That Rotary Basics. There's a great areas of focus just to talk about the new areas of focus. And you're going to hear a lot about the Rotary Action Plan. There's a great module about the Rotary Action Plan as well too. So really good for to build into your new member orientation to really help them enhance their knowledge again, but not like no pressure in doing it, just at their own time and convenience. What they've done, so you can do individual courses like this where it's just one course, and you can see here it takes about 50 minutes, takes about 30 minutes. And you can see EN there too. One thing I didn't mention, that means English. Obviously, Rotary is international, so there's many different languages that these courses are provided in. So if English is not your first language, you can easily go and see if they do offer a course in your first language. And they've also created what's called learning plan structures, which is really courses that are grouped together by learning topic. So the one I want to focus on naturally is so here's the various learning plans some of the various learning plans. There's Club President Essentials, Secretary, Treasurer, Membership Committee, Public Image Committee, the Calgary Rotary Club Foundation Community Essentials, Service Projects Administration, Rotary Club Central Resources. So if you want to learn how to use Rotary Club Central better for inputting your goals, those modules there on that too. And as you can see by the pictures on the bottom there, each of these various learning plans has multiple courses within there that all kind of relate together to help you in that position. So here's the three I wanted to highlight. Obviously, for this group is the Club President Essentials 1 and 2, and the Club Secretary Essentials. And as you can see, they're both about 9 courses, about 4 hours. And again, we don't expect you to sit down and sit in front of your computer from 6 to 10 p.m. and waste a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon. I mean, even me, like, it's interesting, but you start doing the head bob, you read the same line 5 times over and realize that it's really not as interesting as it was when you started an hour ago. So really, again, we don't want that to scare you off, and it's really not that daunting. But once you open that up, you'll see the 9 different, that's 4 hours for 9 courses. So do a course, it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes, or maybe it's an hour-long course where you just plug away at it. Maybe you're doing it in 3 20-minute increments while you have the attention and the time to do it. But just plug away over time. It's going to remember the exit out of it, go to your dashboard, it'll pick you up where you left off. But really, it is designed to be courses that are all related to your role to help enhance your knowledge. And again, the whole goal of these resources is to make sure and help you have the best year possible when you're serving your term. And trust me, like I was president of my club, Calgary Chinook, twice. I did it during COVID as well, just like Brad did, and then again had another crack at it last year. And I've just started doing my district governor courses, even though I'm ways away. And I'm sure I'm going to do them again because I'll probably forget some of the stuff I'm learning now. But it's the learning is really well delivered, and it's incredible. So here's an example. Once you open up that learning plan structure, it shows you exactly what courses are involved in it. This is only the first 5 of the 9 of them, just obviously for size of the screen to get it onto the presentation, but really, and once you're in the learning plan structure, you can actually click on the course itself, and it'll give you a little 3 or 4 line description of what you're going to learn, just a little quick synopsis. This course is designed to do this. Now you can kind of read and see what the course is all about. And it gives you the expected time to complete it. Obviously, that's just expected. Some may be a little bit quicker. Some may take you a little bit longer. Some have videos. There's a lot of reading. Some have some videos. So each one's going to take a little bit a different time. New members, they actually created, and this is new, and I think it's amazing, they actually created a learning plan structure just for new members. So instead of telling new members, go do this course, just go find the learning plan structure, and here's the 6 courses that are great for new members. And again, none of them are all very long. There's one that's 45 minutes, but most of them are quick. You know, how to use the Learning Center, the Rotary Basics, both the foundation, the action plan, right? How to foster engagement, about polio. And, you know, and I love the Avenues of Service one. It's not in here, but I think the Avenues of Service one should be in here as well. So, yeah. So again, great for new members just to plug away at and enhance their. And again, the more they know, hopefully, the more that they'll be invested and stick around longer. But you don't always have to just do like a 9-course, 4-hour learning plan module. There's lots of great individual courses as well too. Hey, what is the foundation? What are some best practices for engaging new members? What are the areas of focus, right? And you can just plug away yourself and just, you know, pop off a quick course if you want to see, you know, recommend it to your committees or your chairs or, you know, your various members. If they just need some ideas, if they're stuck or just want to see if there's something they're not thinking about that's in the module, because this is all prepared by Rotary International. So the reason, so here's some stats. So as mentioned, you need to have, this is not Club Runner, you need to have a My Rotary account. I was actually talking to Minot this morning about this number. So it says we have 1,674 members in our district. That includes the Rotaractors as well too. We actually have about 1,535 members in our district, but the reporting includes the Rotaractors because they can access My Rotary as well too. So if you look at it, that's about 65% of the members in our district that have a My Rotary account. So of that, obviously 1/3 of our members don't even have a My Rotary account. So obviously they're not accessing the Learning Center, but 2/3 of the members in our district have a My Rotary account. So step one, as I already mentioned, is make sure you have a My Rotary account, which everyone on this call should, but if you don't, make sure you do that. So where are we now? I look at the current numbers. So again, 65% of the members in the district have a My Rotary account. There's 299 unique users. So 299 members in the district have used the My Rotary. That's only 20%. So as you can see, when I use the comment underutilized, there's 80% of our members that have not taken a course on the My Rotary, on the Learning Center. So there's lots of room to go. We're never going to get this to 100, like I know that, but the number can definitely go up from 20%. Actually 19.5 to be exact. I'm even being generous by saying 20%. But this is the proof in the pudding, so to speak. 299 users, but over 4,000 courses have been enrolled in. So what does that mean? If someone uses it once, they like it, they find it valuable, they go back. That's on average about 13 courses per user that have used it. Now, there's some people that have used it once and there's some people that have done 30, but the median is 13 courses per user. So generally, those who use it, like the resource, find it valuable, go back and use it. And that's really my goal as learning development, is to make sure that you're aware of it and make sure you spread the word to your club. I'm happy to speak to your club in an individual presentation if you ever want me to about it and go through your specific club stats, because I can get access to them. So of the members in the resort in the district, I think I did a typo there, but yeah, 17.86% members of total members in the district have used the Learning Center. But going back to 2020, as I mentioned, I started in 2019 in the role where I was talking to clubs. It was really only 57% with the My Rotary account, 117 users, and 1,000 courses. So those numbers have grown exponentially, but we still have tons of room to go. Like all things, there's an app for that, so you can actually go on and do it if you don't want to do it on your desktop or your laptop. You can go on and do it on your phone as well too. You can sign in and create a my Rotary account and get access to my Rotary on the app. So just go to rotary.org/learn and you can figure out how to and download the app for that. So I've actually personally, admittedly, have not used the app, but I always I prefer it on the computer. I know Manon has used the app, so maybe she can comment on that in a second when she gets to her portion. But when I'm finished, I'll just ask her to quickly comment. Actually, Manon, have you used the app?
I have used the app, but it was a long time ago, and I know that they've changed the app since, and I haven't used it since because I always use it on my laptop, and I go in there quite regularly. But I will check out the app, guaranteed, because the Learning Center is a wealth of amazing information. And just like you, Rob, sometimes I take courses and I go, oh, that's so interesting. And I forget about it. And then months later, I go, I know I saw that somewhere in the app, and maybe my laptop's not available, so it'd be easier to find it here. And perhaps one of the functionalities I'd love to figure out one of these days is how to bookmark a page in a learning course that I can go back and refer to at another date.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either. So yeah, so I've done tons of courses as well too, but I've always done it on my computer, so I've not used the app, but I do know that you can do it on the app. So I am going to send out Fareed's presentation. I know there's a question. I'll get that from Fareed, and I'll attach this one as well too, so you have it. So then you have this information on how to find it on the app as well. So again, I've already mentioned this, but my ask of you is make sure you're using it yourself. It is part of your training provided by the district. As much as these PELS and SELS sessions on Zoom and in person are great, there's tons of information. There's so much information that we want to make sure that you're going through and doing those club president essentials modules yourself at your own time and convenience. So lead by example, do it yourself, and then and then once you build your boards and your committees, make sure that they're aware of the resource. That way they know these tools are available for them for free. And then, yeah, include it into your new member orientation as well, too. That way, not only are your leaders, but your new members are using it. And just remember, we don't expect you to be using it all the time, but just know where it is. So when you do need to use it, you know how to find it. It's all part of the Rotary Action Plan. It's going to help, obviously keep us engaged and adapt. So it crosses multiple pillars within the Rotary Action Plan. It really does help increase engagement for sure. So the more you read, the more things you will know, the more that you'll learn, the more places you'll go. I always like that quote. So I'm always here to help. So I know you have my email address from sending out the information for the sessions. So feel free to reach out at any time. robwolfrotary@shaw.ca. There's my cell phone number. Again, it'll be in the presentation when I send it out to you. And feel free to send me an email if you have any questions or if you want me to help you out with your clubs. If you want me to arrange a presentation for your own club, just happy to do that as well too. Because again, the more people we get using it, the better it's going to be for our district over time. So I'm going to stop my sharing. And Dev, is there any questions? Amazing. Darcy, over to you.
Wow, good job, Rob. No questions. You covered everything.
I have a question, please.
Oh, go ahead, Peter.
Yeah. I was just wondering, are you going to share this presentation?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'll email both presentations. I'll email Fareed's and mine together at the same time out to everybody.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. So what I thought I would do this evening is I'd like to share some thoughts with you about what and I'm going to use that word a lot tonight, what our year ahead is going to look like, because I think of the presidents and the district leadership team as one big team of leaders in Rotary doing the work of Rotary in District 5360. And so over the course of the next you're going to hear some of it from Mano a little bit later. We're going to talk about tactical things. How do we grow membership? What does the action plan look like? Why are we encouraging club presidents to really embrace the action plan? And how will that help their clubs over the course of their year? But this evening, I simply wanted to spend a few minutes talking about leadership. And I wanted to start my remarks this evening by asking each of you to think back to the moment someone asked you to become club president. Either if it's your first time becoming club president or if you're doing club president for a few times, go back to the first time that you were asked. For some of you, it may have sounded like a thoughtful invitation. For others, it may have felt like a bit of a coordinated effort to rope you into something you didn't want to do. And you know how all of that stuff happens. Someone says you'd be great at it. Another person says the club really needs you. And then suddenly you realize the nominating committee's been working behind your back for months to get you into the role. And at some point, you may have thought, did I actually volunteer for this or did I just stop saying no enough times? But all jokes aside, becoming president of your Rotary Club really is an honor because what your club is really saying when they ask you to lead is this: we trust you, we trust your judgment, we trust your commitment to the club, and we trust that you care enough about Rotary to help move it forward. Now, if you're like most first-time presidents, you probably had two reactions when you were asked. The first was pride, and then the second was, the second was, I hope I know what I'm going to be doing. The good news is that none of us knew exactly what we were doing the first time either. That's actually one of the greatest strengths of Rotary. Because what Rotary does is invites people to step forward before they feel completely ready, and then surrounds them with people who will help them succeed. Past presidents will be there to help you, assistant governors will be there to help you, and the district leadership team will be there to help you. But most importantly, fellow Rotarians want to see you do well. And I really want that to stick with you. And so over time, something pretty remarkable happens. People who once wondered whether they could lead become the leaders their clubs and their communities really rely on. And that's one of Rotary's quiet superpowers. Yes, we're a service organization, but we're also a leadership organization. And every year in thousands of communities around the globe, Rotary helps ordinary people discover that they are capable of extraordinary leadership. And tonight, that journey is going to begin for all of you. So welcome to the presidency. It really is one of the most rewarding roles that you're going to take on in Rotary. And best part of it is you're not going to be doing it alone. So one of the things that I've come to appreciate about Rotary leadership is how much you learn from the people who served before you. When you were asked to become president, you think you probably have a pretty good sense of what that role involves. You've watched past presidents run meetings, you've seen projects come together, you've attended you've attended events and club assemblies together, and from the outside it all looks fairly manageable. Then you become president, and you suddenly realize just how much work the presidents before you were doing behind the scenes to keep everything moving. And I don't mean to scare anybody, but the agenda seemed effortless. The projects that appeared to run smoothly, the club culture that just seemed to exist. You realize very quickly that none of that happens by accident. It actually happens because leaders stepped forward and cared enough to make that happen. And you're one of those people. And by the time your year as president begins to wind down, something really interesting happens. You start thinking about all of the things you wish you'd known at the beginning, all of the ideas that you might have tried if you had another year. And some of you might be in those shoes this year going, boy, year one was a dry run. Year two, I'm going to do something different. And that's when another important Rotary lesson becomes really clear, in the sense that Rotary doesn't really move forward in 12-month increments. We time it that way in Rotary. We build everything based on that July 1st to June 30th window. But it moves forward when leaders build momentum that carries from one president to another, which means that every president is really a steward of something bigger than their own year. So the great thing is that hopefully you're inheriting momentum from the leaders who came before you, and you'll pass it forward to the leaders who follow you. And when that continuity exists, when presidents support each other and build on each other's work, clubs become stronger, projects grow, and Rotary's impact expands. That's the kind of leadership continuity that can be very powerful. Clubs don't become strong by accident. They become strong because leaders step forward year after year, building on the work of those who came before them. The systems you rely on today and the culture of collaboration that you experience and the opportunities that you have as a club all exist because of the leadership you're going to provide in that continuity spectrum. So one of the great things about Rotary is the level of support and training that's available. And I think Rob did a great job talking about the training that has been codified by Rotary over the years and is now available electronically, which means it can be updated and modernized as the world around us changes. And so I'm going to tell you a little story. When I look at all of you, yes, I see you all as incoming presidents, but I actually see you all as future DGs. So I'm starting to recruit for 3 and 4 years down the road, Mano. She'll be very happy to hear that. But so one of the things I want to tell you about is when you step into this role as a district governor, you will get a chance to attend something called the International Assembly. And all incoming DGs from around the globe gather for 5 and 10 days to get prepared for their year as DG. I recently attended International Assembly a few weeks ago, and I went in focused on 3 priorities that I felt were going to guide my year as district governor: membership growth, Rotary awareness, and advancing the Rotary Action Plan. These priorities are critically important. You're going to hear that from now until the end of your presidency and beyond. We're going to talk a lot about that over the course of the next 3 months and over the course of the next 15 months that take us to the end of your year. But during those conversations at IA, something else began to emerge. I walked away feeling like I was too focused on the transactional nature of those priorities and was looking for something that could be a rallying cry that brought the priorities together. And it was my last day, the last session with my peers where everything came together. And I realized that what I wanted to propose to all of you for 26-27 is this: let's build our communities and our community capacity through Rotary. So I want to talk about that for a moment. So in the conversations with Rotarians from around the world, one idea kept coming back to me. Rotary may be the perfect leadership laboratory. Now think about that and think about what Rotary offers. In Rotary, people lead projects. They manage teams, they navigate budgets, they build partnerships, and we solve real problems in our communities. And for those of us who work in a business environment, these skills often come naturally or we receive training from them somewhere along the way. But for others, they can be foreign. They can be a little scary and maybe even curious. But that's exactly why Rotary matters. Because those first uncomfortable steps often become the beginning of something, the beginning of someone discovering that they can lead. And in Rotary, when we do all of this in an environment that is supportive, collaborative, and mission driven. That combination is incredibly rare. So Rotary allows people to learn leadership by practicing leadership. It's hands-on leadership training. And the more you invest in developing those skills, the more you gain from the experience. Now, here's why this matters. First, it matters for membership. Leadership opportunities appeal to a broad cross-section of our communities: young professionals, students, early career leaders, mid-career professionals, and those later in their careers who want to mentor the next generation. There's many people who want to grow as leaders, but may not have the opportunity to do so in their professional lives. So for those individuals, Rotary can be an extraordinary opportunity. If someone wants to develop their leadership capacity while making a difference in their community, Rotary is for them. This is a great tool for building membership. The second is that leadership actually repositions Rotary in each of our communities. Think about it. If you imagined Rotary being seen not just as a service organization, but as a leadership organization in your communities, then, excuse me, if you see them as a leadership organization, communities turn to when challenges arise, it repositions the dynamic in which people view us. Because Rotarians are already people of action, but when we frame Rotary through the lens of leadership, we elevate the impact of everything we do. Because Rotary becomes the place where leaders in our communities gather to serve. And the reality is, Rotary has everything needed to make that possible. We have the systems that help clubs organize meaningful work. We have the training and the leadership pathways that allow members to grow from committee chairs to club presidents to district leaders. And we have decades of institutional knowledge passed on from one generation of Rotarians to the next. Few organizations can match that combination, and I hope each of you are going to embrace that over the course of the next 15 months. Because what Rotary does is it creates an environment where people can step forward, take on responsibility, learn from those around them, and grow into strong leaders. And when we recognize and embrace that, something really powerful happens. Rotary becomes more than a place where good work gets done. It becomes a place where community leaders are developed. And when our communities begin to see Rotary that way, we don't just strengthen Rotary, we grow Rotary, and we strengthen the communities we serve. And then the third piece, which Minot is going to spend some time talking about this evening, is leadership gives us a common framework to move forward together. And that framework exists in the form of the Rotary Action Plan. The action plan is more than a strategic document. It's actually a leadership roadmap. So when clubs embrace it, we begin pulling in the same direction. We strengthen clubs, we expand our reach, we increase our impact, and we deepen engagement in our communities. But just as importantly, the Rotary Action Plan teaches Rotarians the discipline of leadership, planning, collaboration, measurement, long-term thinking. So in other words, it helps people learn how to lead because Rotary is a leadership laboratory. And if there's one thing every past president will tell you, it's this. Progress in Rotary happens when leaders across multiple years are pulling in the same direction. So the challenge that I'm going to pose to each of you as you're working through your Rotary journey is that building your team will be your legacy as president. Now, I want to help you with that. And I want to spend a few moments talking about WIFM, what's in it for me. Our messaging to prospective members often centers on the values that define Rotary, the four-way test and our motto, service above self. Those principles are foundational to who we are. They remind us why we serve and how to conduct ourselves as Rotarians. But when people are considering joining Rotary, there's often another question, one that isn't always spoken out loud. So as a final thought, I want to address something many potential members quietly ask and something you might be asking as you take on this role as president. What's in it for me? So some worry that asking that question somehow conflicts with service above self. I take a different position on that because one of Rotary's greatest leadership lessons is that service itself is leadership. So when people step forward to serve others, they grow, they gain perspective, they develop empathy, they build relationships, they learn to lead. So when someone asks what Rotary offers them, and when you have these conversations with prospective members in your community, the answer is really simple. You'll grow as a leader. And all of our communities need good, strong leaders. So I've come to learn that Rotary has built something quite extraordinary. Across our district and across the world, Rotary has created a network of people. Rotary's connected a network where people learn to lead by serving others. We learn to lead by practicing leadership. So if you, your board, and your club embrace Rotary as a leadership laboratory, something powerful will happen. Your membership will grow. The awareness of your club and your community will grow. And the impact that you have in your communities will grow because people will see Rotary for what it truly is, a place where leaders come to serve and servants become leaders. So Rotary doesn't just change communities through service. Rotary changes communities by developing the leaders who serve them. So I want to thank you all for stepping forward to serve as presidents of your club or for serving again as the president of your club. Your clubs have placed their confidence in you, and that is both a responsibility and an honor, but please know that you're not doing this alone. We're all in this together. Your assistant governors will be there to support you and be a great resource for you to tap into when you have questions or challenges. The district leadership team will be there, and you can pick up the phone and reach out to Minot or myself or Rob or anybody on the district board or leading a district committee to provide you with support. And together, we're going to help our clubs thrive, strengthen our communities, and create the kind of lasting impact that allows Rotary to do what the 2026-2027 Rotary theme talks about, which is create lasting impact in your year as president. So I really do want to thank you all for stepping forward. I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you, getting to work with each of you, coming and visiting each of your clubs and talking about how we can take your clubs to the place that you envision your clubs wanting to go, and helping you and your fellow club members realize the goals that you're going to set for your teams through the Rotary Action Plan. So with that, unless there's any questions, I would like to throw it over to Minot, who's going to spend some time talking about the Rotary Action Plan, the progress that we've made as a district around the Rotary Action Plan, and why embracing the plan is going to be one of the most important tools you use this year to create lasting impact. Minot.
Thank you so much, Darcy. You're so true, so right about the Rotary Action Plan, and I'm thrilled to be presenting this. But before I jump into this, I just want to say how refreshing your talk is. This is the second time I've heard this. Darcy's presented this to the past district governors Friday of last week. But what an awesome description of what Rotary is all about. You are jumping into this leadership lab, and it's going to be a great ride. It's a great experiment, and you will come out of it guaranteed older, but wiser, way wiser. Okay. Are there any questions for Darcy before we move on?
Minot will be happy to answer them all.
Okay, seeing none, I am going to jump in. I'm going to share my screen here. You think after all these years, you'd figure out how to share a screen. Here we go. Okay. And there's the button I want. Okay. So me, you heard about me. So what are we going to look at now? So we have, first of all, I'm going to do a time check. It's 8:35, correct? And I have till 9, correct, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna zoom through this, and we will support you revisiting this throughout the year. So don't worry if this is going a little fast. We're going to revisit it many times. I have seen this Rotary Action Plan over many years, and last year was the year that it finally made sense to me, that it became part of my DNA as a Rotarian. And this is why I made it part of how we were going to move through this year at a district level. So tonight we're going to talk about what is the Rotary Action Plan and why. We're going to talk about what is currently happening in your club that is aligned with the Rotary Action Plan, because, spoiler alert, a lot of what our clubs do is right in line with this. You just didn't know that it was happening. Then we're going to talk about your tool of choice, and guess where we're going to go? Back into my Rotary. Then I'm going to talk to you about a success story about goals and why it is so important to set goals, and why you could even consider making 3-year goals. We'll talk about that advantage. And then, most importantly, who determines what the goals are? So before we jump into this, you've been sitting around for a while now. We're going to move a little bit, and we're going to do some actions to our Rotary Vision Statement. And it is not by surprise that you see what the bolded words are. Together, people create change. This is what this is all about. If people don't like change, my gosh, in Rotary, this is what we're all about. So together, let's do the actions together because I don't want you to fall asleep now. You need to stay awake because it's an hour later where you are. So together, let's do a big circle together, right? Awesome. Okay, I see some people moving. Come on, everybody. Together, we see, show me your glasses, a world, nice globe, where people, remember the people in the steeple in the church when you did that as a kid, right? People, right? Unite. Slap your hands together and take action. Get those feet going. I can't hear you, but get those feet going, okay? To create lasting change. This is the symbol for delta, which means change across the globe, right? Arms all the way around, in our communities, and in ourselves. A nice heart. Okay, let's do this fast. Ready? Okay, together, and you can say it too. Together, we see a world where people unite to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. There, you can share that with your club. Together, people create change, but we want to move together. And this is what the Rotary Action Plan allows us to do. Now, I want you to use the chat. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment so we can see each other. I want you to use the chat, and I want you to type in your response, but don't hit the enter key. Type in your response to the question I'll ask. Don't hit the enter key. We will all hit the enter key together. So when you think about impact and Rotary and your club, what words come to mind? Type them out in the chat. Don't hit the enter key. Okay? Impact at the club level. Impact. What have you done as a Rotarian, or what have you seen? Type that out. I'll give you 10 more seconds, then we'll all hit enter together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit enter. Okay, helping others. United team, international focus, youth for. We'll look at all those ideas. Community building, togetherness. Awesome. Very cool. I'm just scrolling through these answers. Community, community service, help community, fellowship, growth, projects, growth. Very cool. So the impact priority, you can really feel that. You have seen that in action, or you know your club does that and you're a part of it. What I want you to do now is type in the kinds of activities that your club does to have an impact. And you could be very specific. Food bank, support at seniors' homes. So type those in. As many ideas as you can think of. What does your club actually do to have an impact? Okay, ready, and hit enter. Woohoo! Women's shelters, Ride the Road reading program, food bank, school breakfast, hands-on, SA kettles. Look at all these wonderful ideas. Lots of food bank, eh? Christmas lights, international programs, helping daycares. Look at all these wonderful activities. Rob, is it possible to save the chat? Because these are great ideas for clubs. Okay, let's move to the next one. Reach, expanding our reach. What do you think that's all about? So think about expanding our reach, and what ideas come to mind when you think about Rotary and expanding its reach? Ready? Okay, hit enter. New membership, raising awareness, involvement in district and international programs, adding membership, thinking of new projects, new members, new membership, Making more of an impact. Cool. Finding more agencies to give money to. Reaching out to different organizations in the community as well. Building projects internationally. Awesome. Okay, let's move to the third priority in the action plan, enhancing engagement. When you think about enhancing engagement in Rotary, what comes to mind? Okay, hit enter. Let's see if we can get lots of responses on this. Oh, membership satisfaction. Yeah. Working with other Rotary clubs on projects. Yes. Community partnerships. Yes. Increasing fun, including more diverse groups. Right. Need better programs, share ideas, create awareness. Look at all of this. You guys are doing this already. Social events, more fun. More fun. Boy, sometimes we take ourselves so seriously in Rotary, and it's like, ooh, it gets heavy. So how can you bring lightness in? Social events, more fun. Awesome. Okay, let's go to the last priority. What do you think of when you think about increasing our ability to adapt? Because let's face it, who's gone out to Blockbusters to pick up a movie recently, right? Doesn't exist. I actually, that's a lie, because I think it does exist in one place. But anyway, none of us do that anymore. So we need to adapt. When you think about your club adapting, what comes to mind? Okay, hit the enter key. Listen. Oh, responding to members. Yes. Providing tools to learn, flexibility of roles, thinking outside the box, trying new things, getting younger, more membership, knowledge, keep open mind, listening to everyone. Cool. And there's more. Accepting change. I just love the one, listen. Yes. Diverse membership, strong connections to other community leaders. Awesome, awesome. More fireside meetings, having members tell their stories. Cool. Mentoring, reaching people in different ways. Cool. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. And there we go. So here we are. So we already live this. This is nothing new. You guys have come up with all those ideas. You can see this in action, but we need to move to being very intentional about this. Now, just as a footnote, if you want more on the Rotary Action Plan, you can find videos and flyers and handouts that you can use at your own club right at the rotary.org/action plan website. You don't even need to log into My Rotary. Just go there. It's all there for you to use. Rotary has defined its action plan priorities. You'll find those definitions online. In terms of increasing our impact, what we didn't see in our responses is the polio project, focusing our programs and offerings, and improving our ability to achieve and measure impact. Measuring is so important. In terms of expanding our reach, growing and diversifying our membership, creating new channels into Rotary, like how can you capture, I don't know how many of you sponsor Interact clubs, but how do we channel those interactors into Rotaract, and then how do we channel Rotaract into Rotary? No one has shown me that bridge or those bridges, but there are ideas of how to do this, and maybe we need to be intentional about that. Participant engagement, right? It's how can us at the district level support our clubs to better engage their members? We actually have a subcommittee under membership to do that. And then increasing our ability to adapt. Boy, this is a very interesting one. We need to take a little bit more risk and try new things. And we need to be able to have those open conversations about change and about why don't we try this one new thing? And just like you saw in one of the responses, and Fareed talked about it, listen, listen. Okay. It just means that we want to move forward, but we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. So that means change and adapting. You can use this when you have people in your club that say, well, why don't we go back to doing what we did in the past? Well, where do we want to go? What do we want to be? Do we want to be sustainable, or do we say, that's it for the club? You know, the writing's on the wall. We've been decreasing in membership, and let's just let it die. I don't think your communities would want that. I think every community should really be concerned about their Rotary clubs disappearing, because Rotary has an impact. So we need to change. And how can you change? Well, you need to look at what your club is doing and what your club could be doing. So what I'm going to do now is, am I going to do this here? Yeah, you know what? Because of time, oh, yeah, we need to move to Rotary Club Central. So it is important to focus the activities of your club. It is important to look at what your club has been doing and reevaluate. Are we doing it in a way that is efficient? Could we do it a different way that would reach more people? You know, every year when you look at that one service project that you do and you do every year, or that one fundraiser that you do and you do every year, you need to have a look at, okay, what are the activities around that? Does it fall under one of these action plan priorities? And how can we do it better? So there are tools out there. As you saw, we have the Learning Center tool, which is absolutely an underutilized gem. There's another tool called the Rotary Club Central. And as you can see on this slide, it's one of those orange squares that you see when you log into My Rotary. And what this particular part of My Rotary allows you to do is to set goals against the activities that you do in your club. And it allows you to track how you're doing and to monitor your progress. When you go into here, you will see at the very top of the left-hand bar, club goals, and Rotary categorizes these goals under two different buckets. The first bucket is priority goals, and there are 6 goals in there. And the next set is called other goals. Now, these goals align with what it is that you are doing in your club. And you can see just from the image here, club membership, strategic plan, service participation, annual fund, and Polio Plus. And then there's a 6th one underneath. That got cut off in the slide. But club membership, we're all involved in club membership, but do you track it? Strategic plan. Most clubs have a strategic plan. Do you follow it? Service participation. I am not aware of any club that doesn't do some kind of service project. Many clubs do multiple service projects. So you can see that these goals that you can set in here are aligned with the activities that you are already doing at the club level. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to put down a tick mark every time you can answer yes to the following question. And the question is, does your club engage in some kind of membership activity? Okay, not do you have a goal, but does your club participate in some kind of membership activity? So if you do, put a tick. Does your club have a strategic plan? Put a tick. Does your club have or conducts service projects throughout the year? If it's yes, put a tick mark. Do you have members in your club that contribute to the Rotary Foundation Annual Fund? Now, if you are one of those donors, put a tick down. If you do not donate and you do not know, don't worry, because there is an answer to where you can find that information. And as president-elect and secretary-elect, you should know who that person is, and we'll talk about that later. Polio Plus contributions. Do people in your club donate to the Polio Plus campaign? Put a tick down. Benefactors. I don't know if everybody here is aware that you can donate to an endowment fund that continues giving to the Rotary Foundation. So maybe no tick on that, but we can talk about it at a later date. Here are some of the other activities. Does your club do social activities? Yes or no? Put a tick down if you do. Does your club do service projects? I know we talked about that in the previous slide, but the detail on this is a little different when it comes to setting goals. But you can put a tick down if your club does a service project. Do you encourage members to bring new people to your club? Tick if yes. Does your club have an online presence? In other words, do you have a website? Do some of your club members participate in Rotary action groups? Ooh, if you don't know what that is, I bet you there's a learning course about that. Rob, if you could find that while I'm yakking away here, that would be great. Do some of your members give at a level that makes them qualify for major gifts? Again, if you don't, there's a course on the Rotary Foundation that you can find out about that. Does your Rotary Club sponsor a Rotaract Club? Tick mark if you do. Do you update your website and you have a social media presence? Tick mark if you do. Do you have people in your club that participate in leadership development? Well, that's a no-brainer because what are you doing tonight? So tick mark for all of you because you're here developing your leadership skills in this leadership lab. Do you have members who donate to the Bequest Society? Tick mark if you do. Do you sponsor an Interact Club? Tick mark if you do. Have you reviewed or are you considering updating your club bylaws? Tick mark if you do. Do your members attend the district conference? Tick mark if you do. And this is the last page of goal. Yes?
They should get a tick mark for every member that's attending the district conference.
Woohoo! Do you have an inbound youth exchange student? Tick mark if you do. Do you sponsor Kids to RILA? Tick mark if you do. Do you use the official Rotary promotional materials? And again, you can find a lot of that in the Brand Center, which is on My Rotary in one of those orange boxes. And I think Rob talked about it earlier this evening. Do you sponsor an outbound youth exchange student? Do media stories show up about your club projects? I just received an email yesterday morning from Lethbridge Club. Front page news about their big $10,000 agricultural scholarship. Full page article about this. And sure enough, the Rotary name was in there all over the place. Okay, Rotary Fellowship participation. Do some of your members belong in a fellowship? And again, if you don't know what a fellowship is, you can go to the Learning Center or you can Google Rotary Fellowships. There's actually a page that a Rotary page that describes all of the fellowships, and there are 105 of them. Okay, and finally, do you participate in district training? And I'll put in a plug here right now. All of this information that I'm covering, we go into a lot of detail, and we actually do a really cool scenario at the end of it where people use the Rotary Action Plan to help a struggling club figure out where they're going. So this is called Reach the Summit. It is coming to a region. There'll be a Reach the Summit in Red Deer, in Calgary, in Lethbridge, and in Medicine Hat. We have trained facilitators in all of those areas. And for those of you who are in BC, I'll go to Vancouver Island and deliver one. How's that? We can certainly share the facilitator documents and workbooks. And if your learning and development team in your district would like to have access to that information, we'd love to share that. Okay, I am going to stop sharing, and I want you to type in the number of tick marks that you counted for your club's activities. And you can hit the enter key at any time. 19, 22, 16, 14, 20, 17, 15, 13, 16, woohoo, 18, 21, awesome, keep them coming, 19, awesome, 15. Is that it? 18, 16. Wow, wow, and wow. All of those activities can be measured with a goal. And in the Rotary Club Central, you will see a definition of all of those goals. And you, as president-elect, can go in there right now and see those goals, and you can set them. When you're in the Rotary Club Central, under your club goals, you'll find at the very left it says all goals. And if you click on that and click edit, you will see all the goals, all the activities that I just talked about, and you can measure against all those activities. Now, the cool thing is Rotary has already organized those activities under each one of the priorities. Look at that. Enhanced participant engagement. You want to see which goals are under there? You click on that and it'll show up. So Rotary's organized this for you. And I think what Darcy is going to ask you to do, maybe in the next session, is to sit down with your current president and all of those items that you said that you do, put a goal against it and see where you end up at the end of the year. And then meet with your team, because Fareed talked about team, and when you get everybody in your team aligning with the goals on those activities, you have something powerful. Look at the number of ticks that you have, and those of you who had 13 or more tick marks, if you track those activities and place a goal against those activities, 13 or more, and you reach those, you get the Club Excellence Award. And that award is bestowed upon your club by the Rotary International president. Last Rotary year, we had one club in our district out of 40, at the time, 44 clubs, reach a Club Excellence Award. The president called me and said, "What is this thing? Why did we get it?" I said, "It's because you had one Rotarian in your club that tracked the activities that you did and set goals, and you reached more than 13 of them." All of you who had more than 13, your club could be could get a Club of Excellence Award. So, and At the end of this Rotary year, we're going to find out how many clubs. Well, actually, you still have time right now to put goals in for this year and have a Club of Excellence award by July. I think it comes out in July because it's just an automatic thing. It looks at the system. It looks at what goal you have and what goal you had and where you achieved. And then if you achieve that goal, boom, it just calculates it. And then you get this excellence award. You don't even have to apply for it or anything. It just comes to you in your inbox. And you, as president-elect, you will get that when you are president. So wouldn't that be cool to start your year with an award? Woohoo! But sit down with your president right now and prepare for that. It's very important that you plan. They did a study of all the clubs in North America because not all clubs are going down. There are clubs that are growing. And out of the clubs that are growing, 81% have a planning process for growth. 71% regularly update their growth plan. And so you can see that planning makes a difference. And in our district, this happened this year. This is real data about District 5360. At the beginning of the year, I set a goal against each of the Rotary action plans. And it was a very simple goal in each one of those areas. Under expanding our reach, the goal was for every single club in our district to set a membership goal in the membership action plan. I'm sure Darcy's going to cover that and his team will cover that at a later date. We didn't reach 100%. We reached 86%. But because clubs put in a membership goal, we are now experiencing amazing growth in our district. As you can see, the orange line is a predicted 5% growth. Look at the blue line. That's the actual numbers. We have 141 new members in our district because, number one, we set a goal. Number two, because we set a goal, we now supported clubs in the activities to reach their goals. And the clubs actually did work against those goals and looked at their attrition rate and their attraction rate and did something new to them. An example is the Rotary Club of Airdrie put an ad in the newspaper and they changed their meeting time from lunch to dinner. They got 15 new members in the space of about 4-5 months. Absolutely amazing growth. So setting goals work. So your club does activities. The activities fall under each of the action plan items. We've seen that. We know that. When you set a goal against those activities, you reach success. That's guaranteed. But you got to do the work. You have to sit down with the people that are part of your team to set the goals. Now, one more thing about goals. It's great to create a goal for the next year. But as Darcy mentioned, it is really important to have the leadership follow through from year to year because some of these goals, I would say most of these goals, really take time. In Rotary Club Central, and you can see that in the highlighted red box, you have the year 25-26, but underneath you have 4 little dots. What that means is when you click on the arrow pointing to the right, you'll see the goals for the year after, and you click on the arrow pointing to the right again, and you'll see the goals for the year after that. You can set 3-year rolling goals. And I just want to finish off with why that's important. Because a 3-year goal is big enough to matter. You create a small goal, people are kind of, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to do one service project this year. Yeah, okay. So when you're talking about people being tired, they're like, how do you light the fire? Well, let's create something maybe just a little bit bigger. It's close enough to feel real. It encourages strategic thinking and it reduces reactivity. I think and another great one is that it builds accountability, right? If you have a 3-year goal, let's say membership, our club is 20 members right now, but you know what? We could be 45. Well, you might not reach 45 in your first year. Give yourself 3 years. So where do you want to be next year? You're going to start at 20, next year is 30, the year after is 45. You can set those goals. The next president after you will only have to set a far-reaching goal of 3 years later, but they will also be engaged in the same journey that you're on. So you create now, point number 6, it creates leadership continuity. And it encourages boldness, right? To set a 3-year goal. What could we do? That would be pretty big. And it supports the action plan mindset. So think about sitting down with the current president, tracking what you're doing right now, and then move that into 3 years. But who do you engage in doing that? That's important. One of the answers is, well, of course, yourself. You need to lead the charge. You're going to be the president. But use your team to create those goals. When it comes to goals that are related to the Rotary Foundation, so things we saw, benefactor, annual fund giving, your foundation chair has all the data. And your foundation chair can tell you, you know what? In our club, we have 2 donors and they each give $1,000 each every year, and that's it. Well, how could you increase that? Maybe you increase that to 4 donors and maybe not 1,000, maybe $50 each, right? Any motion forward is great. It's progress. It gets the wheel turning. So think about who else in your club, in your board, on your board or your committee, however you're organized, who needs to be part of setting those goals. Maybe you need your community services chair to sit down with you and say, we're going to do 2 service projects this year, and we're going to need 20 people total for all of that. Good. There you go. You've got a goal. At the end of the year, you go, you know what? Yes, we did those 2 service projects and we had 24 people. And you put that in Rotary Club Central. Goal done. But it gives you direction and you become very intentional about the things that you're going to do in your club. And you can get support for that. So, to recap that, the Rotary Action Plan is there for you to help support the activities that your club does. Use Rotary Club Central to track those activities, set the goals, because we know and we now have the data. We know that when you set the goal, that you're intentional about it and you get people, your team, pulling together to that goal, you will reach it and you can be very successful. So, 10 after. I think I spoke enough. Any questions?
Any questions for Manon?
I keep looking at all of those activities that everybody has done, and it's like hardly any are under 13, which tells me that if you guys sitting in front of me right now go in there and track what you're doing this year, each one of you will have a Club Excellence Award sometime in July. And that's how you can start your year as president, is by saying, look at what we did last year. And this year we're in line for doing it again. Wouldn't that attract people to say, ooh, I want to be part of this thing that does great stuff. They're an excellent club. there you go. My plug for the Rotary Action Plan tonight.
Darcy, homework.
Yes. First of all, Minot, thank you. That was a terrific presentation on the action plan. And Minot, I want to tell a quick story to everybody. Some of you may know this, some of you may not, but you probably all have a sense or have heard somewhere that Rotary membership in North America is on the decline across most clubs and most districts. And of course, districts are organized into zones. We're part of Zone 28 in District 5360, and it's partnered with Zone 32. They partnered two zones together. So Zone 28 is all of Canada, with the exception of Quebec, and Zone 32 is the northeastern corner of the United States. So Minot, and with her leadership and belief in the action plan and belief in planning and belief in setting goals, has helped your clubs get to a place where, as a district, we are the top district in Zone 28, top district in Zone 32. I think we're probably the top district in North America for membership growth this year, all by setting a goal and starting to work towards it. And there's a lot of data that supports what Minot is saying, is that when you set goals, you get what you measure. And so one of the things that we're going to do this year as part of PELS and SELS training is we've built the entire training program around the Rotary Action Plan. So today was an introduction to the action plan, the four components of it. You're going to have a homework assignment that I'm going to tell you about in a moment. But when we come together again on April the 9th, we're going to, April 7th. When we come together on April the 7th, we're going to have Jeff Foss talking about expanding our reach and what that looks like. We're going to have Patrick Webb. I thought I saw Patrick's name here.
Yeah.
Is he here?
Well,
Well,
I don't think so.
Patrick doesn't know it yet, but Patrick's going to be talking about enhancing engagement. He was referred to me as somebody who would be great at that. And then when we get together in May, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the other elements of the Rotary Action Plan. So our goal with PELS and SELS this year was to help incoming presidents get familiar with the Rotary Action Plan and do some hands-on work about preparing their own action plan for when they start their Rotary year on July 1st. One of the things that us past presidents have learned is that by the time we start planning with our new team on July 1st, it's really September or October before we actually have a strategic plan in place, if we build a strategic plan. And, and then we really only have 6 months or at best 9 months to execute on it. What we're trying to do is create an environment where you're going to start on July 1st with an action plan and a strategy to move forward, because that's going to help you recruit the team that you want to have to help you move the plan forward. And it will give you 12 months to be working with your club around achieving the goals that you're going to set for yourself. And the final piece that the Rotary Action Plan really does is, you've heard a couple of comments today, and you've probably heard a little bit as you've been stepping into this role about the importance of having a strategic plan. Well, yes, we, Minot, Rob, Mohammed, who's stepping in behind me, all believe that the action plan can actually be your Rotary Club strategic plan. And here's the value add for you, is if every club in our district goes in and sets goals for themselves, we at the district level get to see what those goals look like. And we get to consolidate that data. So when we're trying to figure out what we can do to support clubs in the district, we're going to take a look at what your individual club goals are and start to identify where are the high impact activities that we can put in place to help support districts. So how can we support in membership? So one of the things I wanted to kind of put out there is the DGs get together every 2 weeks, and we talked today about a $10,000 budget that the district has put together this year to support regions of our district doing membership workshops to try to attract people to Rotary. So in Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, Red Deer, Calgary, there's a budget amount that we've put together so that your clubs can come together and put together a kick-ass evening or afternoon or Saturday to welcome community members to come out and learn more about Rotary and use that as a tool to recruit people into your clubs. And so we're trying to figure out what are the most impactful things we can do at the district level to help clubs succeed. And your participation in building your Rotary action plan will allow us to do that because we're just going to consolidate the data and then figure out the strategies that we can do to help you. So, so here's your homework for tonight. We would like you to go back to your clubs and go back to your boards and have a conversation with your president or have a conversation with your executive or your board. And we'd like to know what your current action plan is. So when you come back here on April the 7th, we're going to randomly ask people to tell us about what element of your action plan. And this is really easy. You simply have to go into the action plan for 25-26, exactly what Minot described, and enter all the things you're doing this year. Just put all the stuff in you're doing this year. That's all we need you to do. Some of your presidents have put in the action plan, so you can take a look at that and see if you need to refine it. And if your presidents haven't put in the action plan for this year, work with them to get it in there. So to Minot's point, you can be getting a Club Excellence Award in July to start your year off right as a way to celebrate doing that work. And it creates a bit of an incentive for the team of people you're going to have with you going forward to get your action plan ready by July 1st. So just to give you a sense of what we're going to be looking for you to do over the course of the next 2 months is when you leave district conference at the end or at the beginning of May, we think you'll have all the tools in place to be able to go into the Rotary Action Plan for 26-27 and enter all of your goals by the end of May. Go back and validate it with your club and do some of that stuff. And we'll talk about how you can do that work so that it's really inclusive of your club members, so that when you start your year on July 1st, you truly will hit the ground running. Okay, so your homework this month, please go look at your current Rotary Action Plan. Tweak it if it needs some tweaking from your perspective. Build it, add it in if it doesn't exist there today. And it's really simple. Take what you're doing today and just put it in there. That's all we need to do.
So just a little footnote to that, Darcy.
Yep.
The people who can actually make changes to those goals are the president, the secretary, the treasurer, the foundation chair, or the membership chair. President-elect
and the incoming president can.
No.
No, you can't? Oh,
No.
I thought
No.
Annette and I tested that.
Which is why you have to sit down
can.
with your president and and work with them, or your secretary, or your treasurer, or foundation chair, any one of those. I put them in the chat. So again, the importance of team. You're not doing this by yourself. You're not in this alone. Work with your team.
So we're going to be here to provide support over the course of the next 2 months. And our goal is to provide support to you over the course of your year as Rotary President to help your club achieve the goals that you set. So all we're asking you to do is set them so we know what they look like.
Cool.
So I think, Rob.
Yeah, a couple of housekeeping things on my side. So sorry for the date confusion. It is Tuesday, April the 7th. Okay. It's designed to be the consistent day, the first Tuesday of the month. One small change on that, though, is we're starting at 6:30 and not 7, just to make sure we get everything in that we want to before we get in person. The confusion was, and I apologize, when the Zoom got put into the district calendar, the Zoom got scheduled for the 9th. So if you have an invitation, if you registered, it's going to say the 9th, but I'm going to get that changed. It should be Tuesday, April the 7th. If you look at the emails I sent out about the dates, it is Tuesday, April the 7th. So make a note of that. I know that the sessions are kind of more PELS than SELS. We still hope that the information is engaging as new leaders because obviously the president and the secretary work closely together. Today, obviously, the SELS content was more making sure you know how to access the Learning Center, getting onto your secretary basic courses, the stuff about Rotary Club Central, the action plan and the goals and how that all relates, right? So that's what we wanted the secretaries to take away from the session. Darcy mentioned we're going to be working on enhancing impact, public connection, which is more like branding, that type of stuff, and membership. So obviously, again, more president focused. So if you think, obviously, we want you to join us, but if you think it's more for your president-elects, we understand that. And then we'll also send out the agenda for the in-person session so you can decide. We are going to be, just with the content and how much time we wanted to deliver on the contents, we talked to Charlene Bearden, who's our district administrator, and she's our kind of our club runner guru. We decided it was more impactful for us to do a separate club runner session on Zoom. That way she can go onto the computer and go through all that with the secretaries and the presidents in a separate session. So that hasn't been advertised yet because we need to plan that. So that still needs to come out. So we will be doing a separate club runner session just on club runner. So for the secretaries, again, we wanted you to take away those takeaways today. The rest of the content may be more PE focused, but as a core member of the incoming leadership group, please, we still hope you enjoy the learning and want to attend, but understand it if you don't want to. But with that, again, thanks for keeping your attention today. We know it's hard sitting in front of the computer for a couple hours, but there's just so much content. The information will flow together, and we really hope that you do find value out of it. And
Rob,
we're here to help out if you need.
Can I do one more comment? If you folks haven't registered for district conference, I really encourage you to do that. Because the reason that we decided to do the third workshop for PELS with the district conference is so that you could have the opportunity in one trip to be able to access some great speakers that are coming to district conference and use that information to really help influence what your action plan is going to look like next year. So really encourage you all to come to Red Deer. We'd love to see you here and be part of it. And Minot and her team have put together an outstanding agenda for district conference. And what I would actually encourage you to maybe think about is if your club already knows who the incoming president will be behind you, or you have a sense of who that incoming president might be behind you, this would be a good opportunity to start exposing them to things like district conference and getting them thinking about what the club might look like in the year that they're president, because they're going to be key players in helping you achieve your goals in 26, 27. So give that a little bit of thought, but really looking forward to seeing everybody in Red Deer.
And if those of you out of district want to register and spend the weekend with us, that would be great. After you're done PELS on that day, on May 1st, we have a big party. We start the district conference with a party. We have the dueling pianos coming from Vegas. So it would be great to celebrate achieving your PELS learning and finishing that off with a great party. But if you're interested, I think right now, if you try to register, it's going to ask you for what Rotary Club you're in. And the list comes up with only the Rotary clubs from our district.
Right.
So Rob, how should we deal with that? Do you want them to send you, or Darcy, do you want them to send you an email and we'll figure out how we...
Do we have an email address for the convention or for the
No,
conference?
we don't.
You
know what?
You could send it to me. Yeah, if you send it to me.
Okay, and everybody knows Darcy's email?
So what I'll do is I'll just pop it in the chat really quick.
Okay, good. Okay, Darcy.
It'll finish Sunday at 2:30. By the time you drive back to Calgary, I don't know if there's flights to the island that evening, but you can check that out. Red Deer is about an hour 45 minutes, an hour and a half from the airport, Calgary Airport.
Or an hour.
An hour or an hour if you drive like that.
That's not, yeah, to the airport, it's about an hour.
Yeah.
And the only other comment is, again, PELS, it's not mandatory. Like, obviously, we're just trying to do our best to give you tools to help you with your year, right? You have the Learning Center. Those of you who have done it in the past, you have experience. So it's definitely not
It is
mandatory.
mandatory.
It is mandatory for if you
Presidents, yes,
okay,
for PEs, yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, it's one of the things that I learned along the way in the learning
especially if you want to apply for any global grants, you need to attend it as well. There's a connection there as well with that.
Yes.
So maybe one other thing, Rob, then I'll shut up. If you have topics that you would like us to cover in April or May, could you let Rob know? And we'll cross-reference that with what we have planned. And if there's a topic that we can't cover in that agenda, then we'll just do, an hour one evening for everybody and get together and work through it. Because one of the things that I know I have really appreciated being involved at the district level, that I sometimes wish there would have been more opportunity to do when I was at the president's level, is to get together with my peer group more often. We didn't have a lot of opportunities to get together with our presidential peer group the years that I was president, and we'd like to make that opportunity available for presidents if that's something that they would value. And part of how that's going to work is you drive the agenda around what topics you would like to have a conversation about. So, I'll give you an example. The district governors in Zone 32, we get together once a month. First Monday or third Monday of the month, we get together on a call from across North America or across Canada and the eastern states just to talk about a topic, talk about what's going on in our districts, kind of be there as a peer group to bounce ideas off of. And if that's something that you as presidents in 5360 would like to have, then let's create it and let's do it. And let's turn these webinars into something that you can walk away from all the time and use in your clubs. But you get to shape the agendas of those. So I'll leave that out there for you all to think about. We can talk about that again.
Yeah, let me know for sure. That way we can, Darcy and I can take a look. So with that, thank you, everybody. April 7th, 6:30 p.m. I'm going to get Charlene to amend the Zoom that's in the district calendar, but mark your calendars. April 7th, 6:30 p.m. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, thanks, Rob, for doing a great job tonight.